Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the last week in esports. It's the new season for us. It's season 4. It is the spring, and we've got tons to dive into this week. We got Valorant, Rocket League, Dota, CS, and more. So without further ado, let's dive right into it.
Baker, what was that?
Cloud9 are your E-League Major champions!
This is Rocket League!
While you're waiting for Masters Madrid, which is actually going to be starting this coming weekend, I think like March 17th, while you're waiting for that, hopefully you tuned in and watched VCT Game Changers. We had the North America and the EMEA finals, which Shopify Rebellion took home the North American trophy, and G2 took home the EMEA trophy. Both tournaments went really well. I mean, I think it's very clear that Shopify Rebellion is still the best team in the world, and G2 did not look shabby in their win. G2 won 3-0 over Team Falcons. I think it's going to be a pretty insane world championship when it comes down to the Game Changers bracket. But moving back over to VCT, we've got Masters Madrid starting this week. We've got the Swiss stage. It's going to be interesting. Let me know who you think is going to win. Sentinels is obviously the buzz. Everyone loves them, but we'll see how far they can make it. Hopping over to European Rocket League, we had the last open qualifier for Europe happen, and Carmine Corps came, and they went, and they took home the crown again, which gives them a triple crown as they won all 3 open quals this split for Europe. They're the best team in the world. Hate to say it. They took down Team Vitality in the grand finals. Vitality did actually manage to qualify for Copenhagen after a rough start to the year, but Carmine Corps looked unbelievable. But even cooler fact, Carmine Corps got their triple crown in probably the best region in the world. We have to mention the triple crowns in the other regions, because yes, that's right. 3 other teams get triple crowns, and those teams actually didn't lose a single series the entire split. From OCE, we have Team Power. From SSA, we have Limitless. And from MENA, we have Falcons. All 4 now have triple crowns, did not lose a single regional. Okay, all 4 of those teams I have mentioned won all 3 of their open quals. G2 almost actually did it in North America, but Gen G took them down. But let's hop back to Carmine Corps real quick, because I want to talk about their coach, Farah. I think that it's time we have the discussion that Farah is the greatest coach in Rocket League history. Not only did he go to Vitality and coach them to a Spring Invitational, Spring Open, then a World Championship, he then left Vitality, went to Carmine Corps, and since being at Carmine Corps has won all 3 of the open quals. The dude, he's got something to him. I don't know what he's feeding his players, but shout out to Farah. But with all that being said, we actually have the final teams set for the first major. Copenhagen is going to be busy this year, as you'll see as this episode continues on. There's a lot going on in Copenhagen, and Rocket League is going to be there towards the end of March. So be excited. We'll probably have some predictions come out later this week, and shocker, Casey's probably taking it home. Hopping over to Dota, we have Dream League Season 22 coming to an end, and it ends with Team Falcons sweeping BetBoom. And yes, you did hear me right. BetBoom, the team with the most points in ESL currently, got swept, and it wasn't pretty. But it was a great event, great time, and all these teams are now going to be prepping for Birmingham, which is going to be in 2 months. BetBoom's still at the top. Falcons are now sitting in 3rd place after that win, and GG are sitting at 4th. But top 8 are looking really strong. Obviously, they're all fighting to qualify for Gamers 8, and staying in that top 8 spot. But next on their list is Birmingham, which is 2 months away, or a month and a half, something like that. But in bigger news, the Invitational has been announced, and Valve is going to be taking the Invitational to Copenhagen. Yes, as another event, I was just telling you about Rocket League going to be in Copenhagen. Now the Invitational is going to be in Copenhagen. And it's actually going to be this huge arena that Blast Premier has played at before, which I think seats around 17,000. Unreal. I'm still waiting. I need a TI here in North America so I can go, or at least a TI here on the East Coast. But this is huge news. Shout out to Valve. It's going to be amazing. The venue's amazing, or at least it was when Blast Premier did it. So the pressure is going to be on for them to deliver. Moving on to CS2, there is more news from Copenhagen, and that is going to be that CS2's first major is starting this week. It is going to be in Copenhagen, and it is going to be an amazing event. We have the best teams in the world, besides like Cloud9. They're going to be there, and that roster is tragic. They are going to be there in Copenhagen playing for the PGL, which is the first major for CS2. Honestly, I think I speak for most people and say I'm just really, really excited to see if Donk can continue his, astounding performances and just team spirit look unbeatable. I want to see Donk on the stage. I want to see him do what he just did, and I want to see him continue to thrive and be that child prodigy. But it's going to be super exciting. PGL, good luck. It's going to be an interesting ride this weekend. And hopping over just to League of Legends real quick to give you a brief update on everything. The LEC did finish their first split. G2 won that one. They are now starting their second split. Okay, the rest of the world hasn't even finished their first. They'll begin finishing those up towards the end of March, first 2 weeks of April. So the LEC is already off to its start, ignoring the rest of the world. But good news, the LCK is working to resolve some of their DDoSing issues. There's rumor that they are going to start an offline server so that the teams can play normally without having to deal with the DDoS stuff and be back on the stage. But we will see, as there's still more to come from that story. And that'll do it for this week of Last Week in Esports. We started the new season. It's season 4. Thanks for sticking around and the support during it. As always, let me know if there's any feedback, anything I missed, anything I should know. But if not, have a good one. Thanks for watching, and GG's.